we are here at a metro stop. One of the metro stops that could be anywhere on this planet. But it is not. It is in a very interesting area in Central Europe. An area where history happened for thousands and thousands of years. Before digging into this complicated and very dark topic of talking about the making of Son of Saul, I want to bring you to some of the beauties of this city. If you look here down, the railways, we actually have no idea where we are. When we take the metro, we don't know what is under us, and we don't know what is above us. And sometimes we would be surprised to know how deep under the earth we are and how fast the unexpected might happen. Just take a look here to the Budapest metro system. But the river itself, in the eons of years, in the hundred thousands of or million of years it was flowing, it has seen the good times and the bad times of the city. And in some periods of time, we saw dead bodies flowing along the river.
It's a great idea to reconstruct in a way the course of this movie that was Son of Saul. It started so small in such a reduced scale, made almost in a very secluded way in Hungary a few years ago. And then it became something that was internationally recognized. All the more that we don't have a lot of documents. So,
really?
So I think we can still, through testimony, give a good insight into the making of this film.
I believe that we're sort of coming to an end of a chapter in sound, and now it's time to listen to a new generation and what they have to give us. And so I have to look outside of Hollywood to see what happens in the world cinema. And I happened upon, and for some reason, after a month of examination on Son of Saul, I realized that, in fact, it was the sound that was driving the story. The sound was very subtly driving the story. That it was almost like a brilliant, intelligent, preconceived understanding of how to make that film work that way. And it was so dense and intelligent that it almost got away from me.
Follow the river along this direction. We will go direction Centrendre, and we will visit the sound studio, the Saint Sound Studio, where Tamas Zanyi is working, who produced one of the most amazing soundtracks in recent film history.
Uwe! How are you?
Hi, Tamas. See you. Nice that you are here. you came here to this interesting studio, like where we still see like the old roots of the factory.
We found it with my colleague, Jolt. We found this, like this one, very big and destroyed, empty hall. Yeah, that was a factory, textile factory. But the rental price was not too high, you know. We had to rebuild everything, redesign and rebuild everything.
So it was planned as a sound studio right from the start?
Yeah. That golden reel award is for Son of Saul sound editing in foreign language category, you know, like a Sound Oscar that happened before one day, the Oscar. We never dreamed about that. We worked almost 5 months on this sound montage. This is a movie reel by reel because it was 35 millimeters, so not digital movie. We worked about 20 minutes reels. I mean, you know, rolls. Mm-hmm. We started working on 10 audio tracks and building sound layer by layer, voices, additional voices, sound effects, additional sound effects, Foley. Before the shooting, we talked about some words with Laszlo, I mean, a director. What about the sound concept? Okay, we must make a very impressive, very immersive soundscape which represented this death, factory death. We didn't know which sound elements we will use. We just, you know, it's like a music, composite music. This is when the Sonderkommando was pushed into a carbon storage room before killing them, you know, that was decided.
Yeah, it was already like decided that the Sonderkommando people will get killed.
No, Rebbe! Szysebő! Nyomj és movics! Hagyjátok békén! Csak összes! Tényleg, Rabbi, tartsa meg a szertartást! Mi dan? Peiker mij gebeten. Unschön teute! Gondoskodnom kell a fiamról. Nem a feleségemtől van. Mikor láttad utoljára? Neked nincs fiad?
Bewegung! Super Jude! Weiter schießen! So! Raus! Komm her! Raus!
Did you hear this ambience? It's I'm very proud this, because it's very, very strange. It's not a crematorium ambience because we have no sound recording from. Fortunately,
it sounds like from a science fiction of aliens. Something like this.
Yeah, it's a very simple thing, but I am very proud we found this sound. This is a mine, a real mine, and give a sense about you are under the ground somewhere in the dark, in the, you know. So this is
also working like lots with the unconsciousness of people, right? The sound influences us, and sometimes we don't know where it comes from. And you have also like prepared a second scene. This is the scene where Saul goes to the Effektenkammer, which was actually a storage room.
A storage, yeah.
And he wants to take a little package from a woman called Ella. And Ella, it's actually, she has some dynamite a package of dynamite, and then they want to blow up the oven, which never happened. But then we have the only real personal encounter between a man and a woman in this film.
Der Name des Mädchens?
Fried. Ella.
Fried!
Nicht anfassen.
We did a lot of voice recording, many times, more than 5. Record and record again, because Laszlo Nemes, director, when I edit here the sound, he was always developed more and more further the dialogues and voices. He has a big list. What we shoot here, out of the frame, you know, so he composed always and developed the voice soundscape. We have in this scene we had a lot of noises as well, like this, packing in the background, and I multiplicated these tracks. I do like left, center, right, a wide soundscape. I have only one sound, but I shift left a little bit, shift right. From one track, I composed 3. We have hidden music in the Son of Saul. Laszlo Nemes, the great Hungarian music composer. This is the only music with double bass, with cello, with clarinet. First we record, and later we decided we don't want to hear that as music. So I try to redesign, time stretched, pitch down, and push, compose, you know, merge or mix with noises together. You cannot hear as music, but you feel something strange.
The more I examined it, the more I kept listening to it. There's a new game in town in sound design, and it's on the world stage. And we need to address it and make people realize that we have to listen to it, learn from it, and then the next major film will have to respond to this.
It seemed a good idea to give a sort of insight, I think, to the detail level into what the whole process was of how the film was created. So I think it would be a good idea, and I like the fact that you, Uwe, who really took part in this process, could reconstruct its birth It's interesting to have an insight, especially for film school students or even for the larger audiences,